Hello and welcome to the Video Game Book Club, a podcast where we read video game themed books, I guess. I'm Savvy.
I'm Elise.
And we read L.A. Noire, The Collected Stories.
By multiple authors.
Because we were playing L.A. Noire, and we were like, is there a book related to the game we're playing? And it was,
so
yes.
You said we collect comics in the game.
You collect these books in every, main level, I think? Because there's only 8 stories.
Yes.
And we've found one so far. We're not done with the game. No spoilers, guys. But yeah, they actually are stories that Rockstar hired these writers to write, and they're all awful, actually.
It was bad.
Our first 1 star, everybody! Round of applause, our first 1 star! Woo! I went from a 5-star, the Dead Space book, to a 1 star.
They're all bad.
I can't even justify it.
Collected stories are hard to read because there's usually 1 or 2 stories that are really good and the other ones are just subpar.
Yeah.
And it makes those other stories awful. All of these stories are bad.
Ever since the Dragon Age one, which I actually kind of liked some of those.
I like the Dragon Age one. And then playing Dragon Age afterwards was really cool.
It was cool, wasn't it?
To see all those characters.
We're going to probably see all these characters in L.A. Noire when we keep playing. I have a feeling. Because one of them had somebody that we knew from the game in it. So I was like, I think some of these guys are definitely going to show up. I think Rockstar gave them... They were like, okay, so you are making a noir story in Hollywood in the 1940s.
1937.
1937.
47 is the particular date because that's the Dahlia case.
Okay.
That's also where you're at in the game.
Yeah.
And so they don't, when they're date specific,
they do drop dates a lot.
47. There's a lot of military stuff, obviously, because of World War II.
Yes.
And, slurs against the Japanese, but...
There's a lot of slurs. There's a lot of violence against women. There's a lot of... I feel like they asked them. They were like, you have to have a lady die. It has to be an actress. And you also have to maybe have a character from the game in there. Have fun.
I think people don't fully know. When you say film noir, everyone has an image of what it is. It's usually black and white.
Well, it has to be dark, right? Because noir. Yeah. And then it has to have morally gray characters, but...
And then it has to end not in a happy note.
It has to be, yeah. It has to be kind of a bummer. Okay, I was complaining about... Because when we were learning film noir in film school... It usually coincided with the Hays Code, which was if you have a character that's a bad guy, they have to die at the end of the movie. That's the rules. It's from 1934 to 60.
Yeah, you said in the 60s.
68, so almost 70.
Because you can't have a bad ending without having the bad guy.
The bad guy or the bad femme fatale.
Just
desserts.
Mm-hmm.
Just reserves. So the fact that this is right in the middle of the Hays Code, and some of these movies that these fuckers are shooting are like, oh, you're just going to be the bad guy that kills this lady and then you're going to leave and then you're never going to be in the movie again. And I was like, that's not how this works. You cannot do that. This author didn't look anything up.
Each author...
They just took a fucking guess about what the 30s and 40s would be like. They're like, I think actresses died a lot.
And there are millions of people in LA, which is, especially if you're watching stuff about the non-riots that are happening in LA right now, there's a lot of people in LA, and not all of them, in fact, most of them are not in the entertainment business. So you would not know
How would the city function if everybody there wanted to be in the entertainment business? I know that's like a meme and a joke that you go move to Hollywood to be a star, but that's not everybody who lives there. Some people just live there. Some people are just stuck there.
They're florists. They
run restaurants.
Yeah.
Bars even. Maybe they're
accountants.
A lot of lawyers.
Teachers.
Yeah. There's schools.
Grocery stores.
Police officers.
Where are the police officers in these stories?
We saw a couple of them, remember?
That's the whole
One
game.
of them killed a lady.
That's true.
Oh my god.
Also, the writing's not great. And these are all supposed to be people that have a repertoire of writing.
They have a little description of the writer before the book starts.
And Joyce Carol Oates is the name that I recognize the most. I didn't recognize the other names. She is a writer who does typically collections of stories.
That's interesting. So she only does like short story collections?
Except for she also wrote a book about Marilyn Monroe, which got turned into a Netflix show.
The one that everyone hated.
And
it makes
She will definitely
sense.
write about Marilyn Monroe with her. She writes the Black Dahlia
She
story.
wrote the Black Dahlia one? Mm-hmm. It sucks.
Yeah.
That was probably the worst one.
That's the one that you're like, I stopped reading.
I actually stopped reading that one. I couldn't finish it. So technically I like half DNF'd this book because I didn't read one of the short stories to completion.
In my Fable review, I definitely said, if this wasn't for this podcast, I would have not finished this book.
I know. One of these days, we're going to read one of these books and we're not going to finish it. And then we're just going to tell you, like, here's what we read up to. Do you feel kind of an obligation to finish it, though? Which sucks.
But also, there are a lot of 5-star reviews on Goodreads. Some of them were from 2011, which is where this book comes out, I believe.
It used to be free.
Yeah.
Now it costs money.
We both got it on
it's ebook only, so that sucks. I think I wrote, you're better off leaving these short stories alone to rot on the ebook store. They will not enrich your LA Noire experience, or maybe they will. I don't know you. You could be a sicko.
There are a lot of 5-star reviews, and I was reading a couple of them, and I'm just like, did we get the same book? Is there a different
What did they like
version?
about it?
They liked the crime aspect of it. They said it was written well.
Writing style is in the eye of the beholder. Some people could think this is written well. We obviously didn't.
From a story writer standpoint, some of these stories are lazy.
They're short. They're definitely short. They're like short. They're shorter than the Dragon Age ones.
It's all together, when I looked on
they're like
the Kindle,
popcorn,
it said it takes like 3.5 hours to read this book.
It's like the popcorn kind of thing where you eat them real fast, but also the popcorn tastes really gross because it's old and stale and moldy, and
but you
found it in the garbage.
So yeah, we'll talk about each story.
If you like this, sorry, we're gonna be a hater. Yeah. We're gonna be a straight up hater. You might want to leave, actually.
Or stay around. We can rage bait you here, and
we can rage bait you.
You can hear why.
Ooh, are you tempted? Are you gonna leave a bad comment? Ooh, you're like, you girls don't know what you're talking about. This book is genius. But to each their own.
Also, you do not like true crime.
I hate true crime.
I listen to a lot of true crime.
I think true crime is exploitative. I think it glorifies killers. And it exploits victims. And even though they're like, ooh, but we remember the victims. But I'm like, yeah, but you remember them getting murdered. And that's like the only thing their life means to you is that they were murdered. And then as you put on your makeup, you're talking about mutilated bodies. Like, I hate you. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
So we are very different in that I like true crime. I have a degree in psychology, so like people fascinate me. But I did not like this true crime. Was, again, awful.
This was like fanfic true crime.
Yeah.
They're like, let's take an actual crime and let's like, what if it was this person who did it? And let's include this famous person because I just feel like it. And it's weird to fanfic true crime, but I guess people do it all the time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we played a fanfic true crime of the like Holmes murders, right?
Yeah, the evil within me or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
the devil in me. I got that devil in me. That's like a fanfic kind of thing of that one guy who was a murderer.
But also a lot of the cases in LA Noire are based on real cases. There's a lot of pedophilia in LA Noire, the game.
There's a lot of pedophilia in Hollywood.
That is also true. So it makes you...
Don't live here. Don't live in California, live in Hollywood.
That creepy feeling. I don't
Leave.
know. I like LA.
You do?
I do.
It's hot and stinky.
There's some really nice parts of LA, and the people there are sometimes nice.
50-50 shot.
There is pretty good.
There's a bar I go to there all the time. But every time I walk around, I'm like, oh, God.
Are we jumping in now that you've heard how much we hate this book?
All right. Actually, could you bring out your Kindle so we can read about this author? Our first one is called The Girl by Megan Abbott. But each short story has like the picture of the cover of the book from the game.
Yep.
So that's cool. This is the only one we've collected, by the way. The Girl by Megan Abbott.
Megan Abbott, whose work has often dealt with real-life noir stories, lures the readers, and L.A. noir character erstwhile actress June Ballard, hate her, I hate June Ballard, into a depraved goings-on at an infamous Hollywood party.
Oh, that's it? It's just about this story that we're about to talk about?
There's stuff at the back of the book about each author that I did not read because I didn't care to. About the authors. It's the Edgar Award-winning author of the crime novels Queen Pen, The Song Is You, Die a Little, and Bury Me Deep. Her writing has appeared in Wall Street Noir, Detroit Noir, Best Crime and Mystery Stories of the Year, Phoenix Noir, Story Glossa, and Los Angeles Times Magazine. It keeps going on and on and on and on. And all of her other work. She lives in Queens, New York.
Okay. So yeah, this one is about June, who we have met by now in our game.
The cover of The Girl is... He kind of looks like the Joker a little bit. I don't know what he looks like.
He's like got
it's
magician.
A man in the back, and he's got like a grrr face. And he's got like a thin mustache.
He looks like that Zoltar guy from the It Gives You Your Fortune. And then there's this like, you know, it looks like the lady from the front cover actually.
Blonde,
just blonde
in a white dress.
Yeah, she's got the little like shawl thing going on, and she's in a hallway. This is not June, because June is a brunette. So this is a different girl. I think that's the other girl that she hangs out with, not the young girl who turns out to be the girl. They trick you. They're like, this is about the girl. But then they're like, but what if we threw like 3 girls at you?
Also, June, I believe, in the game is the actress who has like a niece who she pimps out so she can get parts in movies.
Yeah,
June
she's known for like
in
being in Tarzan or something.
She's an older actress who's no one's hiring anymore, and she married this like rich guy who has a gambling problem. And
yeah. So June is at the Shark House in Los Feliz. Yeah, she's talking about getting a part in this thing called Key Largo. She's talking to an agent. We learned she was once married to a guy named Guy, and she hates Claire Trevor because she always sleeps her way to the part before June could do it.
The quote from the book that I actually wrote down was, Claire Trevor's got it sewn up between her thighs.
So she doesn't sleep with them before?
No, that's where...
I thought she said the line. She was like, Claire Trevor, like, the bed is already worn by the time I get there.
Yeah. That's what she sews it up through her thighs, so she gets it through.
So she is having sex with them?
Okay. It's not that she's like...
Is she sewing up her vagina to not have sex with them?
No, it's how she seals the deal.
I'm so confused by these analogies. I know this is film noir where
every bed I land is still warm from her.
The detective guy is always like overly describing people. Like, she's got 2 giant moons between her bosom and razzatazzum, and I'm like, the fuck does that mean? Bro, what are you?
Yeah, June. She wants to be somebody. She wants to be a star.
She's already been in movies.
Also, she uses the terminology that there's a pearl in her mouth, a pearl mouth hangover, and I was like, what the fuck
what does that mean?
I was like, does that mean her mouth is clammy? I had to sit and think about this.
I don't know. Did she give too many blowjobs? Like,
because that's what I was thinking about, like the pearl necklace thing. But I was like, what is happening? What does this mean?
I don't know.
And this is the first story, and we're
starting off strong.
Confused.
So my favorite line from this one was, she longs to show someone something sometime. I was like, what does that mean? What a pointless sentence to say to me.
She's ready.
That's what I want to do. I want to show someone something sometime.
Sometime.
That's my dream. We learn her dad, who left, used to read her a story about a devil wanting this guy's daughter, but she was too pure, so the dad was like, I'm gonna chop off your hands. And this will come up later, so remember that story.
Yeah, what is this story?
I don't know what notes to take, because honestly, half these stories, they're saying shit, and I was like, do I need to know this for the late?
Yeah, so the story is of a miller who sells his daughter to the devil. And then at the ripe old age of 15, so like a freshman in high school, she's an orphan, right? And she ends up leaving to come to Hollywood. And then...
Oh, we're talking about June.
Yeah, she is taken and shown what life was all about by this creepy-ass man.
She had sex with a guy, and now...
Whether it's
consensual
or... Yeah. Probably not.
Life is all about...
And then her agent was like, you got to go to this house for an audition. And I was like, is she at a party or an audition? And then as they walk in, I was like, what is...
So she's meeting with Hudson Hollywood and Tusks. And she talks about, I can't sleep with Tusk. He loves his wife too much. And there's also a couple in front of the house. There's a man and a woman. I don't know if they're a couple, but they're clinging to each other. Because they're like, ooh, spooky, fancy house.
Yeah, it's the shark house because it's like
they don't
Mayan
know the owner of the shark house, but they know he's like a European collector type. Is it Mayan architecture? Really?
Yeah, it's a Mayan fortress.
So
how they describe it?
It's June and her agent, and then it's like this girl and this guy, and they're all going into this weird house, and they walk into this weird collector's house. And there's an exotic party going on, and by that I mean it's an orgy. It's an orgy. You finished my joke! The two guys wanted to see the sights, leaving June and the other girl alone. So some guy gives them absinthe, maybe. I don't know. Some guy comes up to them and gives them
he drugs them, yeah, for sure.
Something, and they may or may not be the owner of the house.
Yeah, the owner, quote unquote, drugs her and another girl that...
And then he starts talking about Mayan sacrifices while he gives them the weird drugged out drink. They got roofied. The girl is like, I've been here before, actually. I remember now.
Yeah, there's a hallway and she doesn't want to go down, like downstairs.
Wow, I took a lot more notes than this. They kind of lie around for a bit. June and the girl run into Hudson. The girl's like, I don't want to go down the stairs. But Hudson's like, come down the stairs. June is like, suit yourself, and leaves her alone to go down the stairs. Down there, she runs into her agent, who says John Hudson isn't here, even though he was down the stairs, and is like, come on.
Yeah, it's a narrow hallway with a steep...
The walls are like
stone
wet.
steps. It's like subterranean keep is how they... It's like not good things going on there. Also, there's not basements in LA because that's not a thing.
If you built it before a certain code,
tunnels.
If you built the basement before the rules show that you can't build any more basements, then you can have your basement.
But
still.
it's in reference to the tunnels that people assume are like for human trafficking in LA.
When couldn't you build basements in California anymore?
Well, some places have basements, but LA and stuff, because we don't have tornadoes, so there you don't need a basement. I mean, we're starting to get tornadoes in California.
All they're just saying is post-World War II, and that is very vague, but sure. So maybe they built it before then.
But there are a lot of rumors about underground pathways and Diddy stuff and Hugh Hefner, and that's not
Hollywood's not a good place to be, guys.
Yeah. The agent wants to go, but June wants to see what he's seen because he's come out and he's like, let's go.
Well, he's like, George Tusk isn't for you, actually, so don't go in there. The agent wants to leave, but June wants to stay, which good on that agent, being like, let me try to strike a deal at this orgy. And then he goes into the orgy and he's like, actually, I think we should leave.
So there are a couple of girls down here.
She finds herself in a bunch, there's like beaded curtain rooms, and then she sees like a naked George Tusk and his wife and some other girl, and Tusk is like, join the orgy, June. She's like, no. She backs away.
And she sees this really, really young girl. Her name is Edna.
Tinka? No, it's Tinka first. Tinka she comes out of the walls.
Tinka is the niece of the owner.
She asked June if she'd like to meet her friend, and June is like, I guess. And then Tinka pulls Edna out of the wall, and Tinka's like,
I had to write, Tinka is not Edna on here, because I was like, what is happening?
Tinka is not Edna. Edna is her friend, and Tinka brought over her because out of all of her friends, her uncle likes Edna the best.
And she's 13. She's just a baby.
So Tinka's like, it's time to check the pink room. June follows them and remembers that Devil's Hand story a little bit better. And she's like, okay, so after they cut off the girl's hands, the king was like, she's so hot, I want her. Yeah. So she can have silver hands. And then she can be my wife at the ripe age of 15, 13, 12, I don't know.
Edna's 13.
Well, I was talking about the story of the daughter.
Gross.
But, like, she's relating the girl, Edna, Tinka, whatever, to that story. So she's like, her hands are as cold as silver.
Yeah, the story of the miller is that he has to give he gives his daughter to the devil, and then, like, the devil commands the miller to cut her hands off.
Because she's too pure.
Because she won't say anything bad about him, even after he's already sold her to the devil. And so he's like, maybe if I cut off her hands, she'll say something bad, and she doesn't. And awful story.
Then the king wants her. Yeah. So the king's
like, oh, she's such a good person without hands.
So give her silver hands. Mm-hmm. June thinks gives Tinka her coat.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole thing that she's like, if you're gonna be sexually assaulted, you might as well get a mink coat out of it.
She does say that, but then she does smuggle her out.
Yeah, she smuggles Edna out.
I think she smuggles Tinka out.
She gets the girl Edna away from the pink room.
Did Tinka go to the pink room then? There's two girls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tinka's pimping out her friend. She knows what's happening at these parties.
Yeah, but then June turns around and does it to her niece, like, right after this.
Yeah, that's true.
So June, hides her in the coat and then goes out the front door, basically, is what...
And that's the story, guys.
She didn't let anyone see the girl.
And that's how we start this collection of stories.
Woo! All right, next one. See the Woman by Lawrence Block. What about Lawrence Block?
Lawrence Block is an award-winning author. He delivers a poignant and painful look at domestic abuse and its harrowing aftermath as a retired LA cop recounts the story that has haunted and colored his life. And this is where I was like, I would have DNF'd this book right here. The first story was awful. I got so mad at this one.
Every time I read one of these, I was like, my day is worse, actually. I'm having a bad time. What about him specifically? Do you have anything about the author himself?
All the stuff that he's...
Lawrence.
He's a highly prolific and respected author of more than 60 novels and 11 collections of short fiction. He has won almost every major award available to mystery writers, including the Edgar Awards.
How many awards are there for writers? It seems like there's like a billion.
And they're each by, like, genre, too. Falcon Awards, the Noire Award, a past president of the Private Eye Writers of America and Mystery Writers of America. He's published articles and short fiction in some magazines. 3 of his novels have been turned into major studio films.
Okay.
And the cover for this one, See the Woman, is it's like a half face of a police officer and then a woman crumpled on the ground, and there's a belt below her
and a lamp. Yep. Oh, her eyes are open.
So this is a story about domestic violence.
Trigger warning for everything.
Domestic violence.
Should have said that at the beginning.
Yeah.
If you're upset about anything, don't read these books. Oh my God.
Domestic violence phone calls for police officers are very dangerous because
they talk about that.
Yeah, and it is part of it because a lot of times you're like, oh, we're there to help the woman, and then the woman will in some cases will end up attacking the police to save their
They also
partner
say
or
that
their
like,
abusers.
Both of them will team up, like they having differences, and then when the cop shows up, now the cop's the enemy, so then they'll team up to attack the cop.
But then you also they're looking at it as like these stupid bitches, like we're trying to save them. But they're trying to save their own life, because what will happen to them when they're boyfriends, husbands, whatever, get out of jail is that these women are often abused more. And the most dangerous day of an abused woman's life is the day she decides to leave, because that is the day she's most likely to be killed. So for these cops in the story to be so flippant about it is so gross.
I still think you should leave.
Yes, you should absolutely leave.
I still think you should leave. You shouldn't put up with that. And I think you should, oh God, it's like, I can kind of see
staying for the kids is not going to help the kids, because you're just setting
your own. It's terrible.
Yeah, we tend to model the relationships that were presented to us at a younger age, and so you don't want that relationship for your kids, so don't stay for the kids.
I realize it's going to be hard, but it's so worth it. And there's so much better people out there than that jackweed. Leave them to rot.
Yeah. But yeah, this story is about how this stupid bitch, and they call, like, she gets called names and stuff, and I'm like, it was so gross. The like point of view that it was written from is,
it's written from the point of view of a cop that loves her a lot. At
it's
one
not,
point.
but it's not his point of view. It's his partner's point of view.
It's a confessional / an oral history.
Yeah.
Told by the cop's partner. Mm-hmm. This is like way in the future.
Yeah.
Like somebody's asking him about this like way in the future for some reason. We don't know why.
So he's like, starts off by thinking about being a boy in Oklahoma, but he's like, and then he's like, oh yeah, I signed up for the war after the Pearl Harbor attack. I was 16, and they're like, you're too young, kid. So I came back the next day and I said, I'm 18, and they're like, sure, we'll sign you up.
He became military police, and then he eventually joined the LAPD.
And his partner is Lou Hagner, and he is part of the Zoot Suits riots, which has a full history in LA. That has the Zoot Suits are the funny, like they have the striped, like large shoulders. It has to do with Mexican Americans, and cops and stuff.
We learn about the Zoot Suit riots for some reason. Lou says domestic disturbances were the worst. Yeah, we already talked about that. Yeah, we learned the guy who's speaking to us right now is named Charles. So we have Charles and Lou, they're partners.
Mm-hmm. They get a call, and the dispatchers like see the woman. And
it's on South Olive.
Yeah.
And Lee knows the woman. She's like, her name is Mildred. Her husband beats her, but she won't press any charges.
Yeah, so she goes by Millie,
kids.
and her husband's name is Joe, and she comes, and she's always like...
It's bad that they don't have kids, because they're like, we can go right past the wife with the kids, because the kids will testify in court, most likely.
You put the kids in danger, and
it's a whole thing, and it's easier to get the bastard that way if they have kids.
And she's always like, it's my fault.
You know.
Don't you know? I'm going to be Mildred.
I pissed him off,
Oh, don't you know?
It's just me, Mildred.
She's like, it's how Joe gets. I said the wrong thing, and I should just be more careful. And it's all about what she does instead of the fact that, her husband, like, beats the shit out of her.
He's passed out. And they're like, do you want to press charges this time, Millie? And she's like, no, I don't. No.
So they come around a couple of times.
She doesn't want Joe to go to jail.
Yeah.
Specifically is what she talks about.
Because, again,
I know it's hard out there for a lady, and I don't know.
But this is what happens a lot of times in abusive relationships. It's not just physical abuse, it's financial abuse. So they will cut you off from your families. They will make you totally dependent on them. And so if they do go away, then you have no income and no way to take care of yourself. Also, if you're going to leave, you don't have any money to leave them with. So it's not just one form of abuse. And so it makes it so much harder. And that is on purpose.
Have your own money.
There are so many resources out there that will help you. There's so many charities. There's places to go. People that will help you get a job and all of that. So lots of resources.
Lou tells her to find a real man and then dips. 2
They
weeks
know each
later,
other. Yeah.
They get the same call. Joe's awake this time, and Lou smacked him. And Millie goes after Lou to defend her man, is what Charles says. They leave and go to a diner after that, and that's when we find out that Lou knew Millie, so this is personal to him, but we don't know. Charles doesn't know, because this is POV of Charles. Charles doesn't know at all what Lou knows, but they must have had like a thing, or he thought she was hot or something.
Or that he's been there several times before.
Yeah. So a month later, They get to see the woman at South Olive again. Same story. It keeps happening week after week after week. And then they get a call that says, South Olive, see the husband. Which is funny. It's not see the man. It's see the husband. See the woman. Is that like see the wife?
Yeah,
strange.
See the husband.
Interesting. He killed her.
Yeah.
Lou is excited to put Joe away, but she wakes up and asks, is Joe okay? And Lou's like, shit, call an ambulance, Charlie. And then go wait outside for the ambulance so they know this is the right house.
Because Joe's, like, passed out, right?
Joe's at the door, because he's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do it.
No, but I think he passes out for a bit.
Well, they give him alcohol.
Oh.
So after he answers the door and is like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to kill her, I'm covered in blood. And then Lou is like, here's whiskey, go kill yourself. And then he goes to see the girl on the floor because she's in the bedroom.
Gosh, she's all messed up.
But she is still alive, and she's like, how's Joe? And so he's like, oh man. So then he tells Charles to go flag down the ambulance. But then Charles remembers hearing like a twig snap. And they're like, the interviewer is like,
inside the house.
That's weird. So we all know what happened.
Yeah. And then we also find out that Lou, a couple of years later, will take his own life by cleaning his service weapon. He's like, it's weird how so many professionals die that way.
Lou comes out and is like, she died. It's too late.
Yeah.
She died in my arms. But he snapped her neck, in case you couldn't figure that out. Joe went to prison, no trial. Lou made it so Joe wouldn't get out early until he killed himself.
Yeah, he went to every probation meeting and was like, fuck this guy.
Charles transferred to the Hollywood division. Lou killed himself. And Joe later got stabbed in prison. So, happy endings for all. Charles, yeah, okay. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that happened. Charles is also thinking about killing himself. He ended it on that.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I thought about it too, you know. Like, I still could, though. I still could. Anyway, end of interview.
End of interview.
And that was that one.
Her next story is called Naked Angel. This one was also so dumb, and I had to read the ending like 3 times to figure out what the fuck happened.
Really?
Yeah.
This is by Joe Lansdale. Yeah.
Joe R. Lansdale. In this story of love, betrayal, and murder, Joe R.
Sisterhood.
Lansdale creates a vivid protagonist who confronts an ugly truth in his past to solve a crime in the present before LA Noire homicide detective Rusty Galloway even has a lead. Is Rusty Galloway one of our...
That's what I'm thinking. He sounds like he would be. I don't remember.
One of our partners?
Rusty.
Rusty.
That's
my dog.
That's our dog who's snoring and farting and sneezing all the time. Sometimes I can't take it out of the edit. I want you to know that. If you hear chortling, that's his dog.
Also funny because we're sitting next to each other on a couch and he purposely comes up to sit between us because he is part of this
podcast. He loves being a part of it.
He's a cutie patootie.
Anyway, enough about Rusty. What about Joe Lansdale?
Joe R. Lansdale is the author of more than 30 novels and many short stories and articles. He also writes comic scripts and screenplays. His novella, Bubba Hotep, was turned into a film of the same name. And his short story, Incident on and Off a Mountain Road, was made into an episode of Showtime's Masters of Horror. He is currently producing a film based on his story, Christmas and with the Dead. Which this
Hallmark
this book
movie.
has been out for over 10 years.
I gotta find Christmas with the Dead.
And then the cover of this story is split screen again. You have a cop with a flashlight like shown towards you.
Oh, it is her in the ice block.
And then it's this lady just dies over and over again. It's the same lady in all of these pictures.
It's the same blonde lady.
And she is in a
That's why she's on the cover.
Ice.
She's the star.
She dies in every story.
She gets fridged every time. But yeah, it's a lady in an ice block and a guy's shooting a flashlight and he looks really stern about it. He doesn't even look shocked. No. It's the same cop, too. It's the same cop from the last cover.
All right, this one I have the shortest amounts of notes.
Oh,
no,
cool.
maybe not. What's in a name I think is my shortest amount.
They find a naked lady in an alley encased in ice melting.
So 10-year-old Tim Trevor is taking a shortcut where he has to climb a ladder, to climb a roof, to climb another ladder to get home. And in one of those alleyways that his ladder is at, he finds a woman encased in ice.
So he comes to get a patrolman. His name is Adam Coates. He found to look at it, and Coates is like, wow, better call Detective Calloway. So Detective Calloway shows up. And they noticed that this lady has an odd birthmark, like a dog's paw, somewhere. I don't remember where. I think it's her wrist. I don't know.
I thought it was like on her leg. Because it was a place that he would intimately know.
Ew. Galloway's like, yep, that's a murder, all right. Thanks, Galloway. They fill out the paperwork. Coates goes home, and he's like...
Yeah, Bowen does the autopsy, and so they're in here, and that's where they see the paw print.
You're way ahead of me.
Oh.
They finish the paperwork. He goes home, and he's like, how do I know? That was weird. That was a weird case.
Yeah.
How do I know that birthmark? I know that birthmark. Then he goes to the morgue, and he talks to Bowen, the night mortician.
The creepiest freaking... Why are these morticians such creeps?
That's unfair to morticians.
I
think they get a bad rap. They're doing an important job, and not all of them are creepy.
Oh. This one's super creepy.
They look at the body. Coates is like... I know her name is Magdalene Jackson.
Yeah, Magdalene Jackson.
Coates is like, I know her older sister Allie as kids. He goes to where Allie lives in the morning, and a big guy...
With some random man that answers. I totally thought it was like, okay, so your husband answers the door.
But it's like her butler / bodyguard, because she's
like,
rich.
Oh, get her.
She married an old man to take his money. So she's one of those.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of those.
This was the cringiest dialogue I have ever read.
So like, the big guy opens the door, and he pulls out the badge. And the man's like, wait right here. So Allie shows up, and she's like, oh, what's his name?
I remember
Adam Coates.
Is it? Oh, I guess it is Coates and not Galloway? It's not the detective?
No, it's not the detective. This is Adam Coates, the patrolman. She's like, oh, yeah, that my big guy, his name is Warren. He's the butler / bodyguard, because I'm rich.
Oh, Coates, we used to have such fun as kids.
We used to date all the time. Fuck.
He's like, yeah, that's why I know the birthmark from, because I've seen you naked.
Yeah. So
apparently your sister also has the same birthmark.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how birthmarks work.
That is not. I don't have the same birthmarks as you.
No. Weird. We're sisters, by the way.
Yeah, if you didn't know that.
Sister.
They broke up because he was poor. That's why she married rich. Because she's one of those. She's one of those. Anyway, he tells her about Meg, and Allie was like, oh, I was giving Meg some of my money, but I guess she needed parents and not my money. She's a dope head, by the way, Meg. She needed someone to care about her and not just money. So
it would be nice if she had a sister who cared about her.
I don't think that Allie was giving her money for sure. Oh, she kind of was. She was pimping her out. Yeah, we find that out later. She's pimping her out. She's like, oh, Allie was a high class prostitute. She just knew that. I mean, Meg was a high class prostitute. Allie is also a high class prostitute because she married an old man for his money. But
then she became a madam. Among other things.
So Allie asked him to stay in her mansion forever, and he said, hot, no, and then left.
I work hard for the money.
Coates then went to the now defunct Polar Bear Ice Company and crawled inside. He looked, and he thought about the time Allie was partying with a gangster named Johnny Ditto, which is a great name for a gangster. Because at the party, there was a big polar bear ice sculpture. And so when he was running around this abandoned factory, he was like, I know it's polar bear ice because I remember at that party when she was getting it
had something to do with the feet.
Gangster.
Yeah.
There's like a thing on the ice that lets you know that it is the Polar Bear Ice Company that made it. So he's like, the Polar Bear Ice Company made the block of ice that she's in.
I was like, first of all, where are you going to get that much ice in LA? And second of all, he was like, oh, the cuttings at the bottom.
There's an emblem.
The lady, it was like the same. And so he breaks into this abandoned building, which is not so abandoned.
Because there's like a film camera and a mattress.
Yeah. And
he's like, okay. So then he walks around and he finds bed camera, some backdrops, ew. and a big old ice frame, the same size as the ice cube. As this was what he says. So he goes back to the morgue. Bowen is like, she drowned. Someone put a hose down her throat and up her nose to kill her.
That's an awful way to drown.
That's a terrible way to drown.
Drowning in general is awful, but to drown not being submerged in water...
Yeah, fuck that.
Sounds awful.
So the ice was to obfuscate the time of death. Apparently this happened 3 times the past week. So they found a bunch of other ladies, like, in alleyways with a little bit of water around them, and they defrosted. This lady was lucky to be found by this little kid, I guess. Yeah, so they think that they've all been killed at the same time, and then their bodies are left in alleyways separately. So Coates goes to the Hall of Records to ask who owns the Polar Bear Ice Company. I said that they don't tell us, but I put it's for sure Johnny Ditto. Yeah, no,
he knows that she's attached to it. It's like not under her name, but it's under...
It's kind of under her name. It's under her and Johnny's.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh man. So he goes home. He gets nude, I guess. And he goes to bed because it's hot. Yeah. He pours water on his bed and then lays in it nude because it's so hot in California.
Some places in LA don't have air conditioning.
But that sounds gross, to pour water on your bed and then lay in it.
What do you have, like a rubber mattress cover? Like a
sounds ew.
Plastic mattress cover?
Everyone's gonna be like, you pissed yourself.
How you got mold?
Someone's trying to jimmy his lock in his apartment. And it was Allie. She busted in. Because he's nude and he has like his baseball bat and he's like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, this whole thing ending was... This whole story was
Turns out Allie owned the Polar Bear Ice Company. She bought it. Her and Johnny Ditto.
He's like, why are you trying to break into my apartment?
And she's like, to have sex with you, obviously. Yeah. I don't know if that was true or not. I can't tell if she actually wanted to have sex with him or if she wanted to kill him in his sleep. It's hard to tell. She's our femme fatale. Yeah. So Coates pulls a gun on her and gives her what he thinks. He was like, I think you were your sister's madam, and her and those other girls, and you guys had a fight. So,
they
had to get rid of her.
There's certain gentlemen who like to come to the polar ice place to have sex and videotape themselves. And these ladies are being entrepreneurial by stealing the film.
Because they're blackmailing them in case they become big-time actresses, so that way
I think that's another story.
Well, this happens a lot. This also happens in the game, by the way.
Yeah. So again, this is the part where I had to read it a couple times to figure out, like, why would you kill your own sister? But it was because she, in one of the videos that she partook in, she took the film and it was to blackmail the dudes. Because the dudes take the film so they can watch themselves later.
Yeah, so it would be, but Johnny didn't care. It was the, like, rich other guys who were doing it, and they would care.
So she had to kill all the ladies.
So then Allie's like, well, you figured it out. I'm not even going to try to deny that. So she sticks Warren on him.
Yeah, because he's like, where's your bodyguard? And she's like, well, I'm just here to sleep with you. And he's like, bullshit.
So Warren busts through the freaking wall like the big galook that he is. Chokes him out. Coates slashes Warren's neck with a broken cup. Allie shoots at him, but he rushed her, and he punches her upside the head, and she drops. Warren tries to attack again, but he's like, I'm dead. You got me. I'm dead. Allie's still breathing, and the cops heard the gunshots, obviously. So our boy Coates is like, better put on some pants. The cops are coming. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum.
All that naked.
That's the end of that story. Womp womp.
The next story is your favorite.
My favorite. Black Dahlia and White Rose by Joyce Carol Oates.
One of the most esteemed writers of our time, Joyce Carol Oates, has often blended fact and fiction. The incident at Chappaquiddick in her novel Black Water, the murder of Jean-Benet Ramsey in her novel My Sister, My Love, and does so once again with his brilliant reimagining of the Black Dahlia murder case and the young Marilyn Monroe, Norma Jean Baker. The story sure to haunt the readers for a long time. Yeah. I think she was doing research on Marilyn Monroe and then was like, I guess I have to write a story about the Black Dahlia. So let me throw some research together And because it ends up being more about Marilyn than it does about Short, who is the Black Dahlia. And I did not.
So I stopped.
Not okay with this.
I think about halfway through this, and I wrote, anyway, I'm done reading this. I hate true crime. So I don't have a lot of notes on it.
So Joyce Carol Oates is the author of more than 50 novels, 20 collections of short stories, of short fiction, 10 poetry collections, and numerous nonfiction pieces and plays, including most recently the story of Give Me Your Heart and the memoir of a widow's story, twice nominated for Pulitzer Prize. She's a recipient of the PEN Malamud Award, honoring excellence in the art of short story, an O. Henry Award, Bram Stoker Award, and National Book Award.
Is this all it takes?
Blah, 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 all the awards.
Is this all it takes? Huh?
No, she's got a lot of work. So again, this is the only author's name that I personally recognize.
I gotta write like 60 books and I could win 1 billion awards?
Yep.
Sounds good.
And I don't even know what the cover of it is. A doctor figure whose like glasses are lighted out, and then there is looks like a strand of pearls that is broken, and then there is a white rose and a black dahlia. So she starts this.
This is like weird because it's like a report, investigation, kidnapping.
Yeah, it says Black Dahlia and the White Rose, unofficial investigation into the unsolved kidnapping, torture, rape, murder, dissection of Elizabeth Short, 24, Caucasian female, Los Angeles, California, January 1947. And Elizabeth Short and the Black Dahlia is a real person. This is a real crime. It is still unsolved. There's been more than 200 people that have confessed to this murder.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I can't believe 200 people murdered this lady.
But I did it. But I was not even born then.
That's weird. Why would you do that?
It's like an interview form kind of report where you have Kay Kennart, who's a photographer. You have Norma Jean Baker, who is Marilyn Monroe. You have Elizabeth Betty Short. And then there's the creepy dude who...
Dr. Mortensen.
Yeah, Mortensen.
Dr. M. It's her made-up killer for this.
So Black Dahlia, again, Elizabeth Short, real person. She was an actress who wore all black and had black hair and black, like, dark lipstick and white skin, and that was her look. That's why she was called the Black Dahlia. Her and Marilyn Monroe have never... there's no evidence that they even knew each other. So this was roommates. Part of the fiction, is that they were roommates. She was...
This is also apparently a case that we will run into when we play the game.
Yeah, it's pretty popular.
But if it's unsolved, then...
It's also what the first season of... what's that show? American Horror Story started with. But her body was like cut in half and she was left on an empty lot, and you can actually... There's a house there now, which I feel sorry for those people because people show up at their house all the time to be like, oh, the Black Dahlia was right here.
That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. If you do that, that's weird.
Well, people call them the Jack the Ripper tours.
That's weird. Don't do that. It's weird.
I've been on Jack.
Weird! You're a weirdo. That's weird.
They just tell you about what life was like.
They're like, there was a corpse here once.
They actually don't take you to where they were actually murdered.
There's corpses everywhere all the time.
Yes, that's true.
Well, you don't go into a hospital and you were like, wow, there was a corpse here once.
Also, this, for some reason, is tied around daddy issues because Marilyn Monroe's dad is, like, non-existent. But Betty had a dad
with these actresses
who died, and, like, he faked his death because he owed money. And that's true.
And then he went to Vallejo.
And then he became a mini golf... owner. He would sell mini golf courses.
So, like, because he's not dead, now Elizabeth's mom has to pay back all the insurance money.
And no one else in the family talks to him but
I
Betty.
Thought... In my mind, I was like, okay, so he was like, oh, we're out of money. I'm going to fake my death. They get insurance money, right? Sounds good. And then he, like, that's not... I thought he was doing that...
He doesn't change his name.
No, he purposefully just did that because he's a fucking coward.
Yeah, so he could leave his family. He has, like, 5 kids, I think.
He didn't even do that to, like, give them the insurance money, which I thought. He did that because he's a dick.
Yeah.
And can't fucking handle it.
So Betty will. I cannot imagine being married at like 15, 16. But she and Marilyn are similar in the fact that they had young romances who both ended because of the war. Betty Short's has, I think it says either her fiance or her husband. I think it might be her fiance.
I thought
Are they married?
One of them was married. One of them was a fiance.
He ends up dying in World War II. And so that puts her on a trajectory of meeting all the wrong men. And in this story, you have the photographer who would... I'm not even going with like the plot of this. I'm just telling you what's happening in the story.
Yeah, I didn't take good notes. I trusted you because like she's having POV. Betty's having an issue with this guy named KK. I think we're talking.
That's the photographer.
With Betty, he's the photographer.
He likes to. So he's the one that likes to photograph nude young actresses so he can use it later to blackmail the studios.
But like, because then we talked to KK, and KK's like, yeah, this weird guy named Dr. M, who's a orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
He's like, I look at gross bodies all day, so I want to look at beautiful bodies. Can I have a secret sneaky peep room so I can peep on your naked actresses?
And I want copies of the pictures. And I want these ladies' names and addresses and phone numbers.
He won't give the addresses and phone numbers unless he pays him more. And the guy won't pay him more. So he's just getting the pictures and the things. But he's really into Marilyn.
Yeah.
Specifically because she's like, I refuse to do nude. You know, I'm being... And then Betty is like, I'm hot and vivacious, baby. Look at my tits, you know? And he's like, I don't like that as much.
They're roommates. And so he will, like, approach Elizabeth and ask her out on a date. And she's like, he could have gotten her name. Because it's also weird because the point of view of Betty
Did you take notes on this?
Who is the Black Dahlia, is dead,
but she knows
she's dead.
Yeah. So we're talking to
this is all like after she had already died. Yeah.
I didn't realize. I forgot that Norma Jean Baker was Marilyn Monroe until like halfway through.
Yeah,
the story.
tell you it at the end of the story.
So
she's like, I changed my.
Because I was like, who died, Norma or Betty? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is a real case.
Yeah, but in real life they don't know each other.
This is an unsolved case that the author is making up the killer to be a gross orthopedic surgeon named Dr. M and a nudie mag guy. Mm-hmm. The last thing I wrote.
Yep.
But I don't know what happens.
No, so the Dr. M approaches Betty and asks her on a date, which I was like is weird to me because he doesn't like her. He's like disgusted by her. But he's trying to use her to get to Marilyn Monroe. Mm-hmm. But she's like, he could have just asked me for my number because my number is Marilyn's number because we're at the same house.
But does he know that? Because they won't give out addresses.
But he knows that they know each other. Mm-hmm. And so he ends up picking her up and then her body is, like, the things that are done to her are awful. It's estimated that she was held for like 3 days, I think.
Rough.
She has the Glasgow smile, which is where they cut your mouth from the tip of your sides up to your ears, and she's cut in half. She's got awful things done to her lady parts, and yeah,
cool. Is that it?
And she will live in infamy forever for her death. But I found it so disgusting. So what happens to Marilyn Monroe is also sad and tragic. And yet this story was, I felt like to me, was more about Marilyn Monroe than it was about Elizabeth Short.
100%.
Yeah. So I was like, there's both of these.
So he only killed her because he didn't like her because he liked Marilyn more? Like, yeah. That's fucked up.
But he was like trying to get to Marilyn, but he doesn't. And then.
That's fucked.
Yeah. It was. It's when we talk about being exploitative, but I was like, why are you tying these two girls together? First of all, there's no evidence that they ever knew each other. It is more about Marilyn Monroe, which makes me think she was doing research from her Marilyn Monroe book, and was like,
needed extra money, I guess.
I've been tapped to write this story about the Black Dahlia, and like this she was a whole woman who was not just some whore that was trying to make it in Hollywood, right? She had family, she had goals. She wasn't the cookie cutter blonde girl, and so she found it to be a little bit more difficult. She lost her fiance in the war. Like she deserves better than this.
Yeah, it's disgusting. This is why, like, even the victims are getting exploited and their whole life is just, remember that time you got fucking murdered? Now I can make up shit about you.
So if you are into true crime, there is a book called The Five, which is about the women that Jack the Ripper killed, but it does not talk about their deaths at all. It's all about their lives up until they died. And it is fantastic. It's so good. You get a really good glimpse into what life is like at that time and kind of the tragedy of their lives before. So it was so good. I loved it.
Next one is School for Murder by Francine Prose.
This story.
This one was weird.
It was weird. It was different.
It was interesting, actually.
But I saw it coming from a mile away. How about you?
Every single one of these I saw coming a mile away. They're so bad at, like... everyone, you could tell what was happening the whole time.
So Francine Prose, distinguished writer in best-selling fiction and nonfiction, goes full throttle in her darkly humorous take on Hollywood, making noir films and acting that goes far beyond the method. This is definitely, and method is capital M.
This is a comedy?
Of sorts.
Humorous? Who thought this was funny? Which at Rockstar thought this was funny?
My note on here is I wrote, ew, method acting.
That's disgusting. Were any of these supposed to be humorous? That's not film noir.
Dang, Francine, you have the longest thing on here.
Dang, Fran.
She's written 15 novels, among them Blue Angel, which was the finalist for the National Book Award, and most recently, My New American Life. Her books of nonfiction include The Lives of the Muses, 9 Women and the Artists They Inspired, Caravaggio, Painter of Miracles, Gluttony, and Anne Frank, The Book of Life. The Afterlife, so she's also won a bunch of prizes as well.
I see.
She was one of the first recipients of the Director of Fellowship at the New York Public Library Coleman Center for Scholars and Writers. And the cover of this story is there is a man who's staring at his hands. That looks like there's blood on them, and there's a giant light behind him.
And a plane dropping bombs in the background. Oh my god. It looks like he's... Oh, so he's wearing... Okay, so it's like half of him is in a military outfit.
Is that why his hair's so weird?
Yeah, this is a helmet on half of his head. That's why the bombs are dropping in that background. He has a gun. Then the other one, he's like normal, but there's lights because he's got PTSD. He's a military man who wanted to become an actor. So we start with talking about desperation, but that's yesterday's mashed potatoes, as he says.
Yeah, everyone is desperate.
Everyone is desperate in Hollywood. You got next military man once again discharged, PTSD, moving to Hollywood.
Is Benny.
It's Vince.
Yeah, but he goes by Benny.
Oh, okay. I just wrote Vince for all mine. So he's like an extra. He does bit parts. He's on a lot of things. When parts stop coming, he becomes desperate.
I'm desperate, see?
I'm desperate. His agent finally calls with a part. Because, like, the guys...
No audition, just a part.
The guys at his bar were like, just call your agent, dude. And he's like, I can't. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, your agent works for you. Home skillet.
Yeah, it's your agent. You're paying this guy. Call him.
He's like, all right, there's a part.
Yeah.
It's called Not Guilty.
And it's in some garage in Pasadena. Just show up, no script, you have no lines.
Yeah, Henry Waddles is directing it.
Who is a disgrace and now does low-budget noir films. Vince is going to play a guy that strangles the lead actress to death. And then the leading man gets blamed for it. And that's the movie. The leading lady is Waddles' girlfriend that he stole from a producer, causing Waddles to become a disgrace. And her name is Iris Morel.
And the whole story of the story is stupid.
This is like a fanfic. I think I wrote in Fable, I was like, so usually movies are based on like books, right? Not some guy's personal fan fiction of his life.
True. But Vinny has an issue because he's like, what's my motivation? And
Yeah.
Waddles is like...
Iris Morel has been seen around town with the big shot producer again. Yeah. Uh-oh, so this is why Waddles wants to kill her off. She's been dying early in a lot of Waddles' pictures, and Brittna Raymond shows up to help the leading man later in this movie, and Brittna and Waddles are seeing each other currently, so now you get the whole tea, alright, you get the whole Hollywood tea. Vince asks what's his motivation, Waddles says it doesn't matter, and then proceeds to be a real dick about it.
Yeah, he's like, am I, like, sneaking in? Like, why am I in this house?
Why do I want to kill this lady?
Like, did I break in? Am I purposely trying to kill her? Am I a maniac? Like,
am I a maniac? Is she my ex? Like, what's going on?
He's like, it doesn't matter. You do not matter. You're just going to kill her, and then somebody's going to get blamed for it.
Vince was in the scene. He was, like, thinking about how his girlfriend left him because he was starting to scare her. And to me, I was like, that seems important.
Yeah, he's got PTSD.
He couldn't do it. Waddle says, it's okay. Pretend you're a maniac. And he's like, I still can't do it because of my PTSD.
Yeah, he's supposed to, like, throttle her, choke her, and he's like, I don't feel comfortable with this. And
because he brings up a thing that his, like, commanding officer killed a woman once, and it really scarred him, so he was like, I can't do that. So he's like, okay, we'll move on to the next scene, and after the shoot, you and me are gonna have a drive, says Waddles to Vince. They get in a car together.
He used to wait all day. He's like, did he forget about me?
Waddles is like, I want to drive. Vince asks, why not fire me? And Waddles says, I saw your respect for human life in your eyes, and I admire that. So I want to ruin that. And I'm going to pay for a class that I know.
It's a one-day class.
In Santa Monica, and it specializes in teaching actors to kill. Only one class guarantee, it's by this French guy.
Sort of. He might be French, he might not be.
He might be
French.
faking it.
And it's Professor Gaston Landru.
So tomorrow, he goes to the class. A bunch of people are sitting in chairs like an AA meeting.
I like the fact that Benny feels like this class, those in the class are actors playing a part. Like, he is there to take a class, but it's like the Truman Show where everyone's there.
It's, just for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to run through a series of exercises. One was just remember someone who wronged you and pretend that actress is one of them. And that's like the whole exercise. Yeah. They're like, think of someone you fucking hate and you want to kill in real life, and then like pretend that person that you don't know is that person.
And then he's just watching like team by team by team like
kill each other,
abuse each other.
They're like, imagine that was your sister who like you fucking hate, and she's like, fuck you, and then she like kills
you, throws stuff at her and shackles her to the ground. Like that's.
Then they have to learn about the wait, which is after you commit the crime, and you're like, oh. Take a pause. Sit down.
My life is ruined.
I'm going to get so caught. So Vance was called up last, and the teacher's like, okay, imagine this young lady that looks like Iris is your old lieutenant that I know about killing that lady in the war. Now, imagine that's your lieutenant. You want to kill him, right? Now kill her. And then he almost does.
And then all he sees is... No, he kills her.
Not this one.
Oh.
Not the girl in the class. The girl in the class, they're like, whoa, dude.
Everyone's scared of him.
And then he's like, do the wait. And he's like, okay.
Perfect.
I'm ready to go
student.
The next day. He's, okay, we're going to do the scene. Iris is there. He sees his lieutenant. He kills her.
Yeah, he doesn't see Iris. He just sees Lieutenant
And then he drags her body. So he keeps choking her. Like, there's blood on his hands now. He drags the body to, like, the corner of the... like a movie set, I guess. And then he snaps out of it, and Waddles is like, the fuck? I'm calling the police. And then he has to do his sit and wait for the police to show up.
Yeah. And it was definitely a setup by Waddles.
That's why I was like, is this a setup?
It's a setup.
But, like, the teachings of this guy was so basic, right? It's like...
But then if you saw the reaction of everyone in the class, too, they, like, lose their shit. And they
didn't even like
physically
drug
assault
him
each
or
other.
anything. Like, I can't believe the only technique you need to actually kill somebody is like hate somebody.
They knew he has war experience, and I think they were using
they did tell him about his lieutenant, so use his PTSD to his advantage.
And that was that story.
What's in a Name?
I don't get the story. You're gonna need.
What's in a Name by Jonathan St. Loafer?
Yeah, St. Loafer.
This one was weird. Jonathan.
Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonat is a well-known artist and award-winning writer who has often explored the dark psychological makeup of criminals and sociopaths. Here crafts a tale of murder and identity that's both heartbreaking and terrifying.
Heartbreaking?
Yeah, who wrote these?
Yeah,
these
the hell?
Let's read about Jonathan.
It'd be funny if you were like, and then he writes this dark, twisted tale that is upsetting and horrific and probably the worst thing I've ever read in my life. Enjoy!
So, Jonathan Sentlofer is the author of 5 crime novels, among them his debut novel, The Death Artist, which received national attention and was translated into more than 20 languages. Anatomy of Fear winner and Nero Award winner. He's also co-edited the highly acclaimed anthology, The Dark End of the Street, and a whole bunch of... He's also a well-known artist. His work with the collection of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Museum of Contemporary Art in Tokyo, and J.P. Morgan Chase.
And
Like
J.P. Morgan Chase? Like
Bank?
he does art for the bank?
I don't know.
Okay. No wonder he's a psychopath.
And the cover art for this one is there's like a factory in the background, and this man these are different people though. Finally, this man in a white shirt is like dragging.
Holy shit, a brunette.
This brunette.
Holy fuck, there's a brunette here.
And she's not the black
In
belt.
Hollywood? Oh my god. Yeah, he's dragging.
She's got like blood coming out of her mouth.
Yeah. And there's like a factory, and he's dragging her corpse away. Yep.
And she's got, because she's a brunette, she's got to be wearing black, maybe red, because it's black and white, and she's got like a sparkly necklace.
So some guy's going off about Bugsy, the gangster.
Bugsy Malone.
Bugsy Malone. He talks about, this guy's a big movie head, a cinephile, if you will. His name is John or James, or John spelled weird. He doesn't know what his name is.
Yeah, I have my note on here. Is this person crazy and delusional?
He's very crazy.
Like, what is happening?
He was raised by, he said some lady named Carol, but it's his mom that he first names.
And then I was like, is he adopted? Like,
he doesn't know his dad, and neither does Carol.
It's like, what is going on?
He used to live in Hollywood, and then he left, and now he's older, and he's coming back to Hollywood. I say he's a bellhop, but he's kind of like a everyman at a hotel.
Like the maintenance guy?
He does a bunch of shit, because I thought he was a bellhop, but he also works like the front desk, and
Honestly,
he also does a bunch of stuff.
I could not figure out what the heck was actually happening.
He talks about having killed women before, and he like wants a fresh start, so he's going back to Hollywood. So he picks up a lady at his hotel job. She she was hitting on him, and then a sailor came in, and then she hit on the sailor, but then the sailor dumped her, so he's like, now's my chance. So then he takes her on a drive to make out point in his car, and she was like, I don't want to kiss you, I just want to hang out. And then he kills her. And then he, drags the body somewhere and buries it up by makeout point. And then he goes to a diner and orders Musso and Frank style pancakes. I thought that was weird. I wrote it down, and I didn't know what that was. It's a restaurant in Hollywood. Yeah. It's a famous Hollywood restaurant. Fun facts.
Name drop.
Because I was like, well, how do you make your pancakes Musso and Frank style? I think
what kind of special sauce are they putting in there?
I don't know. They just look like pancakes when I looked on the website, so... I don't know.
With a snort of cocaine.
It's just full of cocaine. Instead of powdered sugar, just put cocaine on it.
Classic Hollywood.
He sees his murder in the paper. He also hits on the waitress. And then, some big galoots come in. They're Johnny Stampano and Mickey Cohen. They're big gangsters, and...
He's a fanboy.
He wants to be like, look,
cards.
guys, this was me. I murdered that. But he's like, that's probably a bad move. And then he's staring at them because he's like, oh, I should say, sorry about Bugsy. He was really cool. Do you think I could be, your new Bugsy? But he's thinking all this in his head, and he's just staring at them.
It's kind of bizarre.
And they're like, what do you want? And he's like, oh, nothing. And then he leaves the diner, and he's like, they're testing me. They're testing me. Mm-hmm. Soon I will be the next Bugsy Malone. And we'll be besties, and we'll hang out. And then he goes back to his job, and the, cops come in, and they're like, this woman was murdered, and her last known location was your hotel. And he's like, I want to admit it because I want to be famous so bad. And I put in the Fable notes. I knew this girl in theater class, and she gave a speech that was like, I want to be famous no matter what. I want to be, even if it's infamous. People will know my name. And I was like, you're a fucking psychopath. And then I never talked to her again after I said that. So
do you remember her name? You don't have to say it.
I do remember her name.
Okay, well then it worked.
It worked.
One class at a time. She's gonna say something
actually
out frickin' rageous.
Let me think of it.
You already forgot.
I actually forgot her name. So R.I.P.
Failed.
Actually, I forgot. I remembered it like a while ago, but right now I have no idea. I remember her speech though because she was a psycho.
Also, just as a side note, when he said his mom or adopted mom or whatever was Carol Lombard, who was an actress, she died in a plane crash in her early 40s. So
that was
that's a real person.
That's a real person?
Yeah.
Because in this story, he remembers cutting up Carol and strangling her to death.
Yeah, I was like, Carol Lombard is a person who died in a plane crash. So that's why I was so confused this whole time. I'm like, did he actually kill these ladies?
Lombard?
Because he said it. Yeah.
Crazy.
At the end, he says Carol Lombard, and I was like...
Well, he could be making it up. He's a psycho.
Yeah, but I don't know what's real and what's not real in this
guy's
story.
going insane.
So I don't know if he actually killed... I was like, did he actually kill these people, or is he just imagining it?
I don't know. But it ends with him. He's like, I should give the cops a tip, because then my name will be in the paper, and I'll be cool. I should tell them that it was some guy named John or Jim. What's my name again? What's my name again?
I didn't write it down.
What's in a name? That's the end of that story. It's really stupid. Hell of an affair.
This next one is a ride.
Is it Duvain?
Dwayne?
Oh, it's Dwayne. Why does it? Look how I wrote that. Is that wrong?
Yeah, no, that's it. But it's Dwayne. Instead of
Czerkreski?
Yeah, it's Duane and Swardskinski.
Yeah.
It reveals the dizzying spiral of duplicity that drives LA Noire character William Shelton into a headlong collision with the wrong side of the law.
This one was my favorite.
Is William Shelton gonna, do we know?
He's a professional land surveyor.
Is he gonna show up? It sounds like they said in LA Noire, so is he gonna show up?
He might.
Maybe we've already met him and we didn't know. There's so many characters in here.
We're not even close to being done with that game.
No, but there are definitely a lot of characters in here. About the author. He's the author of several crime thrillers, including the Edgar Award-nominated Expiration Date and Fun and Games, the first in a new series published by Mulholland Books. He also has written about characters The Punisher, Cable, Immortal Iron Fist. So we got some comic book people. Werewolf by Night, Black Widow, Deadpool for Marvel Comics, and is collaborating with CSI creator Anthony Zucker on the Level 26 series of best-selling digi-novel thrillers, including Dark Origins and Dark Prophecy. He and his family live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
And the cover is super weird. So
it's
lady's eyes, and the big
and then
in the
a
background,
big old bubble underneath that, and then a guy running with a pipe.
Yeah.
No, that's his tripod. It's a tripod from the story.
It's almost like a South by Southwest cover. These are very Hitchcockian. Yeah, what's the bubble?
I don't know what the bubble is.
Is it a camera?
Maybe it's the car.
Maybe it's the camera lens.
Oh.
Because he's a surveyor. William Shelton, professional land surveyor. He goes by Billy.
Mm-hmm. He goes to Ray's Cafe. His waitress, Bonnie, asks him out.
She says, you can have anything you want. She comes up and she gives him a beer, and he's like, I didn't order this. She's like, you can have anything you want.
He's like, oh man, I have work tomorrow, and I'll get no sleep. I'll be worse at my job if I go out tonight with this girl. But then he says, okay, anyway.
Yeah, she's like, I get off at 2 a.m., come here before, and we'll go out. And he's like, what? I didn't ask her out. She's super forward.
Such a pushover. I feel it so much. Where you're like, man, I wanted to sleep and like I have stuff to do, but yeah.
So he comes back to his job because he was out at lunch and he gives back his per diem. That's not how per diem works. You don't get like cash from the office every day. It's usually you turn in your receipts and they repay you, or
it's a different office.
Cover it. I was like, this is not how this works.
They go. So this is him. He goes to Ray's at 1:55 and waits for her to get off her shift.
They do tell you about the people he works with, which will become not important,
but kind of important.
This part was so dumb. So yeah, he shows up a couple minutes before the shift, and
they go to the Lookout. It's the makeout corner. They drink a whiskey from her purse and make out, and she's like, "I want to drive to the ocean." So they drive drunk. And they speed down Mulholland, and they get into a minor accident.
With another drunk guy.
And the other drunk guy is pissed, but also he's drunk. And Bonnie is, like, still drinking in the car.
And she's making out with Billy. In front of this person.
And
like, sticking her tongue all the way down his throat.
While they talk about their accident, because they're like, we don't want to involve the cops. We're both drunk. Mm-hmm. So he settles the accident and drives her... not to her home, but to Ray's again?
Yeah, because she lives nearby.
Yeah. And she's like, let's do this again tonight. And she's like, oh my God, it's like, what, 5 a.m?
Yeah, he's like, I gotta be at work in a couple hours. So they meet a couple of nights in a row. It's always that night.
Billy and his car are becoming like way worse for wear.
Yeah.
She didn't want to hang unless it was at night, and he didn't know where she lived, so she's for sure married. Mm-hmm. And it's called An Affair to Remember, so...
Hell of an Affair.
That's right. That's a movie. One night, she couldn't do it.
She's like, I can't go.
So Billy's like, okay, great. I can't sleep, though. I'm too used to this lifestyle now.
Yeah, because he's like, well, does this mean it's over? That we're never going to see each other again? Or
so then he comes back the next night, and she's like, I knew you couldn't stay away. Anyway, I need $6,000.
Yeah. By tomorrow, or somebody's going to hurt me. You don't want that to happen, Billy, do you?
So she just, like, makes up this story about her wayward brother needing money. And he's like, I'm going to help you because I'm on the hook.
Yeah, this is, again, where I said this. I actually put lazy writing because she's telling the story. And the author says the story doesn't matter. And I was like...
because it's a lie.
He didn't want to write it in the first place. Because he's like,
Billy doesn't
have a word count and this is too many words.
Billy would do anything. The next day, Billy stole money from his job. Embezzlement. He told Bonnie they're going to meet at the steakhouse. That's a
lot of money to take from your job
8 o'clock p.m. Yeah, $6,000.
And he's like, it took a large dent. They're definitely going to notice. And then I also took $100 because we're probably going to do something later that night. So, and for a penny and for a pound.
Billy decides to drive around till 8 p.m.
He's reliving their greatest hits of where they all made out.
The ocean,
but the daytime,
cliff.
Things look a little different.
He thought about his situation, and he told Bonnie... so he meets up with Bonnie, and he's like, I have a better idea, actually. I thought this out when we went to the ocean.
She's like, you got the money? He's like, I have the money. But
I think that you should do installments. Yeah. I think that's a smart way to do that. And instead of ripping off my boss, I can help you with the installment plan. And she's like, you dumb fuck, and throws her drink at him and storms out. And I was like, she's going to steal the money from his car because he was stupid.
He told her where it was.
And he was like, it's in the trunk of my car in a paper bag. And then she storms out of the place. And I'm like, this guy has to be like, she's going to take the money from my car because she knows that my trunk's unlocked.
She'll calm down. We'll work this out.
So Billy's like, I got to give the money back to my job. So he goes... changes his clothes in his apartment.
Because he got drink spilled on him.
And there's a knock at the door, and it's the man from the car accident he had on Mulholland Drive. He's like, where's my $6,000? And he's like, oh shit, you're Bonnie's husband. Mm-hmm. I'm just piecing this together. So then the husband beats Billy up and searches his apartment. And then stole the keys and went to his car. But Billy's like, wait, I have spare keys. So then he crawls...
in his underwear drawer because the guy was tossing his apartment. But of course he's not going to look in his underwear drawer.
Because that would be too gay. So, can't have that. So, Billy goes to his car. The guy is searching his car currently.
Billy jumps in it.
Jumps in it, just takes the car and drives away. Billy makes it to the office. He didn't have the key, so he's like, I have to break in. But what am I going to use to break in? I'm going to use this tripod that I have in my car to break in.
Let me try the handle.
The door's unlocked. So he's like, oh, and he just leaves the tripod on the ground. And then he goes into his office, and his boss is having an affair.
He's having a naked slumber party.
With his coworker.
Yeah, and who's a dude.
Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I still want to give them the money even though they're fucking on the desk. So Billy, like, sneaks in and, like, opens the drawer and, like, puts the money back in. Well, there's no money in the bag. He looks in the bag. There's notebooks.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did she get the notebooks?
Oh, I don't know. I think, no, they were his notebooks.
Oh, from his car?
For the surveying. Because you got to write down all those numbers.
So she went into his car because she knows that he doesn't lock his trunk, and he told her
where the money
was. So obviously she took it and she replaced the bag with his surveying notebooks. So he's like, oh man,
I'm totally screwed.
His boss and coworkers catch him because he's trying to leave. So he runs because he's embarrassed.
And of course they're like married, so to ladies, and
I have kids and all that.
So they're like, oh no, he's gonna expose us, and he's thinking, oh no, they're gonna arrest me.
So everyone is panicking. He runs out. He trips on his own tripod that he lifts on the floor.
Like a noob.
And he gets in his car and he runs over a drunk.
I hope it's Bonnie.
He runs over this drunk and then he flies out of his car because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Mm-hmm. Wear a seatbelt.
Look what Bonnie does to
And
you.
then his car runs him over. That's the story. It kind of reminds me of the first case in LA Noire where that guy got run over.
Yeah.
That was confusing at the end of this story because I was like, did
somebody
somebody run him over? And then I reread it and I was like, no, he ran over somebody.
Yeah,
and
he ran over a drunk.
That flung him out of his car and then the car ran him over. So that's what happened. Anyway, Postwar Boom is our last one. By Andrew Vachis. Vachis, yeah. This one I didn't take a lot of notes for. I was kind of getting fed up by this point.
Yeah, so Andrew Vash is an attorney specializing in child protection. Always takes on important and disturbing social issues at his work, whether in fiction or real life. Here is the pointed, painful look at the bitter racism shaped by prejudice and combat that fuels a couple of post-war hitmen. Weird, okay. Would not say that was the story.
But they are hitmen.
Yes. And I guess because he's
And they are racist.
Yeah, they are super racist. So again, it's the same thing. Okay.
Award-winning
lawyer. His many
books
include 18 novels in the Burke series and 4 collections of short stories. His work has appeared in Parade, Esquire, Playboy, and the New York Times, among other publications. And he's the only one who listed his website, so good for him.
Playboy?
That's not around anymore.
You read it for the articles, right?
And the cover of Postwar Boom, you got 2 white dudes in a car and fedoras, and one of them has a gun.
Yep, that's pretty much it. What is it, the Blues Brothers going on over here?
You need glasses.
These look like mannequins.
They do.
Yeah, so it's Mendel and Seamus? Seamus and Mendel are driving to LA.
Well, so Seamus O'Reilly is, he's Irish, hence maybe the racism part to that. But he's like, oh, we've been in this car. They're driving from Idaho to LA, and they're both veterans of the war, and Seamus is like, oh, what's your name, be? And Mendel's like, why does it matter?
I had no idea who was talking during this scene.
It was really hard.
It was hard to tell because one of them got dishonorably discharged, and I was like, I don't know which one it is.
So Mendel Mendel was dishonorably discharged, and they were both being racist against the Japanese as they're talking. And then they talk about the Nisei Brigade, which are the Japanese Americans who went and they were fighting in the war while their relatives were being interned in camps on the West Coast. So Mendel got dishonorably discharged for killing Nazis.
Who surrendered. That's why he's dishonorable.
And then, and he
got ratted out by a guy named Hendrix. Hendrix' whole place blew up here in LA. Oh yeah, Hendrix died.
Yeah, there was a building that blew up, and then Hendrix was in it.
So, and every few miles they change drivers and cars. I put their freelance killers maybe because at this point we didn't know, but they are.
Yeah, they have some place that they're gonna go. They do stop and they switch out cars. I'm like, are they stealing the cars? Like what?
I don't know. There's like they switched out with another group. Like another group is
they,
like, here's your cars.
Yeah, they go to like auto shops and then they pick up another car and then they use that to drive and then they're supposed to come back to get another car.
They're like, when they get to LA, car is full of stag film blackmails of actresses, which is what we talked about before.
Oh, this is...
It's the prop snuff shop from the game.
Yeah, so they make porn movies for blackmailers for if the girl, quote, they say girl,
becomes a
makes
popular actress.
Makes it big at the studio and then the studio will pay to get the film back.
So yeah, the prop snuff film place we've been to in LA Noire. So
well, I hope we could punch people in the face.
So they have to drive by, shoot a target, basically. One of them gets out, shoots the guy, they switch cars.
So the guy, Mendel says, you're a better driver. So you drive for this one. And they're supposed to park, wait for the guy to pass them, shoot them, and then drive away.
But one of them's supposed to get
back.
out, shoot them, get back in the car, and then they go drive, and then they switch cars. That's the
They're supposed to drive back.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the plan.
That's the plan. So
Mendel's like,
don't worry about the cops. The studios run the town, and they know what we're doing.
Yeah. Is a bad man.
That's going to be a thing in LA Noire, isn't it? Where we can't solve a case because it's a studio.
The cops are in on it, see? And they're getting paid. I think
and we're such a good nugget, Cole. Oh, if he turned into a bad nugget, I would be so sad. So they come across the target. One of them gets out of the car.
Mendel gets out of the car.
Shoots him in the back of the head. Then...
like 3 times. And then shoots him again.
And then shoots...
and then turns around and
the
shoots...
other guy.
O'Reilly.
Seamus. And then shoots him, and then he gets into a separate car.
with people that were already waiting for him.
Yeah. And it's over.
That's it.
That's the story.
Yeah, a hitman got betrayed by his partner.
By another hitman.
Surprise, surprise!
Whoa!
It was a weird
That's
ending.
the twist.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Can't trust anyone these days.
Yeah, it's like, it's over, I guess.
Do you have our next book?
It's in my purse, but it's the Myst, the book of Atrus.
Yeah, we're diving... so next time, we are diving into the world of Myst. It was a PC game, I believe, right? First?
Yeah, I'm sure it's on everything now.
And
new
it's
VR
got
version
moved to consoles, and so in the game of Myst, there's books that you have to find, and this is the Book of Atrus. It's supposed to be the fascinating prequel of the CD-ROM.
Well, you love a CD-ROM
phenomenon, and it is by Rand and Robyn Miller with David Wingrove.
Wait,
we have a physical copy because it might be out of print.
Yeah, it might be. It's really hard to find. I couldn't find an audiobook. I couldn't find a digital copy. These are hard to get, so
we will
tell you about it.
Oh, and this is the shorter of the 3 as well. So I do have all 3 books. However, we may only read one.
Before we go, I want to rank these. I wanted to do this with the Dragon Age one, and I totally forgot.
There's so many in the Dragon Age. This is just 8.
I would say my favorite's The Hell of an Affair.
That was such a weird story.
And then probably A School for Murder, because it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And then it would be...
I feel like What's in a Name and the Postwar Boom were odd ducks in this one. Because I was like, what's real, what's not? What is happening in the story?
I'd probably put The Naked Angel as my third. And then I would put...
You're going to put Black Dahlia
as the last one for sure. Then I'm going to put Girl.
Oh, don't forget See the Woman.
Yeah, that one's lower. I'll put The Girl. Then I'd probably put See the Woman. Wait, did I do The Naked Angel one yet?
Yeah, you...
I'm so lost. I should have written this down.
Your number 1 was which one?
My number one was...
Hell of an Affair.
Yeah. Hell of an Affair is my number one.
And then number 2, I think you put...
I put School for Murder.
And then 3 was Naked Angel.
3 was Naked Angel.
Were you putting What's in a Name? Or Black Dahlia is going to be your last one, right?
Black Dahlia is going to be my last one, so put that on the bottom.
And then what comes before Black Dahlia? The See the Women? Or the Girl?
I'd put the Girl, and then I'd put See the Woman. No, I put I put Postwar Boom. I put Postwar Boom right after...
Naked Angel?
Naked Angel. And then...
What about What's in a Name?
What's the name's going to be pretty low, because I hate that one.
So it's what's better, What's in a Name or See the Woman? Oh, wait, the Girl, too. We still have the Girl.
I still have the Girl. I put the Girl, then I would put What's in a Name, and then I'd put See the Woman.
Yeah.
And that's the lesser evils of mine. What are yours?
Which one did I hate the most? Like, The Woman really pissed me off.
The See the Woman?
Yeah, See the Woman really pissed me off. Black Dahlia also made me mad. What's in a Name? I was confused the whole time. So I was like, See the Woman, I think would have been number 8. Number 7 for me was Black Dahlia.
The only one with like a good ending was like the girl, because she saved her from the orgy.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty gross.
That was hard to read, but like at least it had like a good ending, kind of.
Hell of an Affair also was so
Hell of an Affair was a crazy wild ride.
It reminded me a little bit of Alexander Hamilton, because he has that affair and then gets blackmailed by the husband.
That one was goofy.
As he should.
But that was the only one where the guy didn't suck.
Yeah.
So I was like,
a good guy.
Okay, yeah.
But also I thought the School for Murder, like, he started off as a decent guy and then, like, lost his shit.
Yeah. The School for Murder was fine. It was just so obvious what was going to happen in that I was like, I hate this.
That is true. It was really obvious.
I would be surprised
Angel,
if it
I was
didn't
confused
happen.
about the sister, so it's hard for me to
The Naked
read.
Angel was interesting because it was like the one femme fatale we had.
Yeah.
She wasn't a victim, she was the cause of it. I guess that's not true, because then we had the $6,000 woman over there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call her a femme fatale, though.
No.
She's...
Because she technically didn't cause... he caused his own death.
He did, so...
But yeah, so it's like, What's in a Name and Postwar Boom, I would almost have to take out of there, because I was like, I don't know what's happening in these stories.
No, you have to add them. You
have to add them?
You have to add them.
They're going to be some fluff, because they didn't make me mad. I guess that's...
The only thing that made me mad about Postwar Boom was how racist it was.
Yeah.
But then, like, the twist was so stupid that I was what? And then that's the end of the whole book.
I was hoping that the car would blow up.
I didn't even know.
Like, they both die. That would be better.
They just park and then the car blows up. That's the end of the book.
Well, they had to switch cars. I'm like, why are you switching cars? And it was a crap car, and they were like, this is a car that Mexicans drive, and I'm not Mexican. What if I get pulled over by the cops? What am I supposed to say? I'm doing that with like a bro accent, but maybe I should, because it was the Irish guy who was like, it's a Mexican car, right?
And then he gets shot for being racist.
But then the racist guy that killed all
They're
the
both
Nazis.
Racist guy,
yeah, it was not.
So yeah, what's your number one?
I think it would have to be...
The one that you hate the least.
Maybe Hell of an Affair would have to be number 1. And then School for Murder, I would also put for second. I'm going to put What's in a Name and Postwar Boom, because
You were confused?
I was confused. I was like, what's happening? I would put then... I had to read the end of Naked Angel twice, because I couldn't figure out... Like, I was like, why did she kill her sister then? But it was because she was blackmailing men. So I would put maybe The Girl, Naked Angel, Black Dahlia, and then See the Woman.
See the Woman's the last one?
Yeah, that made me...
That's fair. That was pretty upsetting.
Grr.
All right, that's our ranking. That's fine.
All right, see you
next time.